What's up everyone, and welcome to the final episode of the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Legendary Hunt. It is Cobalion, Virizion, and Terrakion, the legendary dogs. Oh my goodness, it is hot as heck in here, but it's the final legendary hunt, so I'm gonna pull through it, just power through this hotness of Puerto Rico and get to this final one. So actually, two of these are going to be post-narrated, but this one currently is the final legendary that I have to get, period, ever. The other two are already recorded, so this is literally the final legendary I ever have to catch in this game. Well, there is the Oxus, which I want to do a special video about, but, you know, I don't have to worry about him for a little bit. Anyway, for Virizion, Terrakion, and Cobalion, I can never say Virizion, so I just call him Verizon because it's a phone company. And he's got the big V shape on his head, so either way, they are found in this area here called the Pathless Plain, and in order for them to actually appear for you, for this area to appear, you need to have 3 Pokemon with max EVs on your team, which is kind of weird to get, or yeah, if you don't know much about competitive battling or that side of the Pokemon scene, might be a little bit hard to get, but once you do have those 3 Pokemon with max EVs, this Pathless Plain will appear, and one easy way you can check if you have 3 Pokemon with max EVs is by going into Super Training here. You can actually train them in here to get yourself the max EVs. So you can see mine, Wuju, or sorry, that's the wrong button, but Wuju does have the max EVs shown by that little guy there stretching his muscles. I believe almost all of my Pokemon, yeah, all of them have max EVs right now. So we have a full team of 6 Pokemon with max EVs. You only need 3 of them for the Pathless Plain to appear, or rather for it to contain the legendary Pokemon. Aside from that though, they are actually timed events, so again, that is why this video took so long to come out, because I kept messing up the times, because this one isn't a certain time that they have to come out at, but rather a certain day. So I'll explain the days for each of them as we get to them, as I keep hitting my microphone because I can't stop moving around because it is so hot. But either way, this is the final legendary video. If you guys are excited, be sure to leave a like. Let's get to it. A mysterious ring is floating in the air. Something is visible in the hole, and we're gonna put our hand in that hole because it's episode 68, and it's all about putting them hands in the holes. It's Terrakion. So this guy will appear on, let's see. I can't even find the days. Tuesdays and Saturdays. Today is Saturday, of course, and I could have gotten this guy on Tuesday and this video would have come out a lot earlier, but I couldn't get enough time to actually record catching him. Like, I wasn't even on the computer on last Tuesday, so I couldn't catch this guy last Tuesday, which is why now we're having to wait all the way until Saturday. I swear, all of these legendaries that have time-based events or day-based is even worse, because you don't know if like one day you're gonna be busy, and if you are, then you're gonna have to wait either a whole week or until one of the other days. But for this guy, big old bad Terrakion, one of my, I guess my favorite one of this trio, because honestly, I don't really like any of them, but uh-oh. Well, I forgot he was a fighting type. Let's, well then. Well, I guess we'll try that again and not have someone that can kill you in one hit this time. So the whole thing about this trio is that they are all fighting types, so I don't know how I forgot that, but this guy specifically is fighting and steel, so neither of Wuju's moves at least would hit it without being able to kill it. Like, I'm pretty sure both Close Combat and Psycho Cut would kill this guy. So Azula has come out as the new challenger to try to weaken this guy, and actually worked pretty well. I was hoping we could get maybe like a static off, and then that way we don't even have to go in for the Thunder Wave, but you know, you can't have all the cookies in the jar. You only get one today. That doesn't make any sense. But what I was saying was that this guy you can find on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Cobalion you can find on Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, and Virizion you can find on Monday and Thursday. So ideally you can get them each a day in a row. Like, you'd get Virizion on Monday, then on Tuesday you can get this guy, and then on the Wednesday you could get Cobalion, or you just repeat the same thing the next week. Thursday you'd get Virizion, then Friday you'd get Cobalion, then Saturday you'd get this guy. So it works out. The thing is, if you miss a day, it's going to be really annoying, because you're either going to have to wait 3 days to get the one that you missed, or a whole week to get it on whenever the next rotation is. I just don't like the fact that you have to wait like for a certain day to get them. I guess that's just me though. Some people might be into that. Either way, I don't think he should be that hard to catch really, because at least the other two weren't really that difficult. I think the one that gave me the most trouble was actually Virizion, just like Verizon, ironically or coincidentally. I never know which one is irony and which one is coincidence, because, see, coincidence I know when it is, but I never know when to use irony, because every time I use irony, like, I guess I use it wrong, or it's not really the right way. I am sweating right now. This is the first time that I've sweat during a video. Probably because Terrakion here is so intimidating. You don't have Intimidate though. If you had Intimidate, that would be the icing on the cake. But I think Virizion is the only one that actually gave me trouble, which I was saying is kind of like how Verizon gave me troubles here with my phone. So maybe it's like they're passing the powers on to each other. The O powers that are being passed on. That was the joke I was trying to get to, because I got the O power for catching this guy, and we're gonna use it and see if it actually works. I should have probably thrown a quick ball, and that would have worked out, but I never remember to do that. I don't know if I remember to do it with the other two, but I guess we'll see that in a little bit, because we have to worry about him for now. But this guy is just, he's so different looking from the other two as well. I just don't get this trio really. Like, there was already the Genie trio in Unova. I don't think they needed another trio, but you know, then they got these guys, the Doggies. There were already a dog trio too, or there was already. Entei, Raikou, and Suicune are the real doggy trio. We didn't need another one, but then they just made these guys, and I really just don't get why they're there. I like Keldeo. Keldeo a cool Pokemon, but these three I just really, I don't know, I guess I just really don't like these legendaries. They're probably my least favorite. I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there that probably really likes these guys. Like, they're probably the #1 fan of Virizion out there, who's probably not very happy right now with me saying that, but I just don't really like them, I guess. Their design is okay. I mean, I'm talking about design, but then there's the Genie trio, and come on, they were, I like their Theron forms though, I'll be real here. So as far as Unova legendaries go, they really did have some of my least favorite, maybe because just of the sheer amount that they had. There were so many legendaries in that region. Like, there's the regular trio, then they have the Genies, and then they have these guys, and then they have a bunch of event legendaries too, with Victini, Meloetta, Genesect, Keldeo. Keldeo's an event one, right? I don't even know how you get Keldeo, to be honest. I know that you need to have all three of these guys, but I think actually in Black and White 2 you could get him without an event. No, never mind, you still needed to have an event, even if you had all three of these guys. So Keldeo, I really like Keldeo, because he's a nice little pony, and he has a cool form, but these guys, actually I think their name is the Swords of Justice. I just remembered that. They're supposed to be like the Three Musketeers, and then Keldeo is supposed to be D'Artagnan, or whatever the little one's name is. I forgot his name already. D'Artagnan, or something like that. Something with a D and then a weird French. I think it was French. I'm not sure if it was French. If the French Musketeers are not, they're not French. They're the Three Musketeers. But if the Three Musketeers are French or aren't French, I wouldn't know, because I don't think I've ever even seen any or read any of the content that they have that relates to the Three Musketeers. Really, Terrakion? Come on, bro. You're the final legendary. I just want you to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just get in that ball, stay in there. It's nice and cozy in there. You know, there's some rocks for you to eat, things for you to do in there. I don't know what a Terrakion like yourself likes to do on a nice Saturday evening, but you know, I would rather not be catching legendaries and sweating. I mean, I guess the sweat's not that bad. Sweat helps you lose weight, right? I mean, that's how you get rid of the body fat, is through sweating. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure, you know, I'm not an expert on sweat here. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't think there are experts on sweat. Probably Terrakion here, because he's making me sweat right now. Alright, I got 25 more Ultra Balls left. We'll see if that's enough to get this guy, because if it isn't, then I don't know what to say, really, because we don't have any more balls. We don't have any more money. No balls, no money. You have nothing. You really don't. If you have no balls and no money, at least in the Pokemon world, what do you really have? Aside from the Pokemon I've already got. It's not like I can sell my Pokemon. Wait, can you do that? I wonder if that happens in the Pokemon world. Like, you know, people sell pets in the real world all the time. Could you sell Pokemon to other people? I mean, there is the GTS, but that's just like trading, you know? It's like equivalent exchange. It's more like alchemy, not barter and trade. So I don't know if Pokemon can be sold. I mean, I suppose they can, because like Ash, I remember that in one of the seasons, this guy Paul had a Chimchar, and he threw it away, and then Ash picked it up. So I suppose selling could work the same way. You could just be like, hey, give me the money, and then you'd give someone the Pokeball with the Pokemon in it. So it'd be the same thing as trading. except, you know, with money involved. So I'm sure that there's some kind of underground realm where people sell and trade Pokemon. I'm about to sell and trade away this Terrakion though, because he's just not having it. The whole point that I even brought this up is because I need money. If we don't catch this guy with this Ultra Ball, these final ones that I have, this isn't exactly the final one, but with these final ones, hey, you know, you just gotta threaten it, really. It's all it comes down to. Every single one I caught is when I started to threaten the Pokeball. I was saying I was gonna sell you, Terrakion, and he heard the message. He didn't want to be sold. He does not want to be in the hands of a greedy businessman who was probably not gonna do good things. He was probably gonna ride him or something. I mean, he seems like a rideable Pokemon. Be kind of cool to ride around on a Terrakion. Spoken of in legend, this Pokemon used its phenomenal power to destroy a castle in its effort to protect Pokemon. I have no idea what the whole tale of these three musketeers is, but that is the final legendary I had left to catch there, as the power wears off right in the nick of time. So let's go check out everybody that we've got now. Well, actually, there's still the other two, so I suppose we'll go do that. So now we're gonna go after Virizion, my favorite cell phone company, which is not really my favorite because much like here in Puerto Rico, how I have no signal, Virizion here was super duper hard to catch. Which, I mean, that doesn't really have one thing to do with another, but I guess you could say, you know, I couldn't catch a signal, so I can't catch this Pokemon. There we go. That's the joke I meant to make. See, I had the joke in mind back like a week ago when I was trying to catch this guy, but totally forgot the joke. I guess that was it. But back in the Pathless Plain we go, and if it is, let's see, Monday or Thursday, Virizion will appear. So once again, I feel like I should say this in every video because I don't know, I guess people might come to this video randomly instead of from the playlist or whatever. So don't change your 3DS time to try and get these guys to activate. Like, if it isn't the day that they're meant to be caught on, don't change your 3DS to be that day, because what that will actually do is block timed events for 24 hours, and then basically you'll have to wait a whole day to catch the Pokemon you were missing, and then he probably won't even be there anymore, because by waiting the 24 hours, another one of the Swords of Justice will be there, and then you'll have to wait a whole nother 2 days to get the one that you wanted to get in the first place to appear. So I just do not recommend doing that. Just wait it out. You know, it's 3 days in a row. If you just don't miss a day, in 3 days you can get yourself all 3 of the Swords of Justice. But anyway, now that we're fighting Virizion here, I actually had the toughest time catching him, but here in the video, since like I said, whoa, I actually remembered to use the Quick Ball. Wow, isn't that surprising? It's even more surprising that it didn't work, isn't it? No, it's not. It never works, but yeah, it actually took me a really long time to catch this guy, but I believe as far as this video goes, I edited it so that it's the one time that I do catch him. Like, this is the attempt where I caught him, but he was just as hard as Azelf. So if you watched the last episode, or not the last episode, but the episode with Azelf, Mesprit, and Uxie, and you saw how painful Azelf was to catch, think of this guy as about the same, not actually as annoying though. So I guess overall, now that this is the final legendary hunt video, I can say Azelf was without a doubt the hardest one to catch. Like, that guy, oh my goodness. I mean, he's not even a guy, he's a gender neutral legendary being of knowledge or power. What is he? I think he's the one of willpower. Knowledge is Uxie, I know that much. And then Mesprit is emotions. So Azelf is of willpower, which I guess it makes sense because he had the will and the power to not get caught in the Pokeball. So gonna whittle down Virizion here a little bit. And then I found out that he's got Giga Drain. So all of that effort, well, I guess it doesn't really matter because he's not gonna gain back that much experience, but he was definitely one of the harder ones to catch. Like, this is the attempt where I caught him, where I think it actually catches on the first ball, but there were maybe like 4 soft resets before this attempt came along. So let's just say I think I had about 30 Pokeballs or Ultra Balls or something like that. So about 70 Ultra Balls went into the process of trying to catch Virizion until this attempt came about, and then I actually caught it. So Virizion, definitely pretty annoying, but I guess I would have to call him my runner-up. And there we go, we already got him. So literally the first try on this certain soft reset. I don't know how that happens, man. Pokemon is just too random sometimes. And that's one of the things that can, I guess, turn off a lot of people about it, is the fact that catching them can still, even though there's a lot of things you can do to make it easier, it can still be so random unless you got your Master Ball there. But legends say this Pokemon did something. I couldn't even read it. It already went away, so doesn't really matter because I don't know what the lore of these legendaries is anyway. So just like the best phone company on earth, we're gonna name this guy, not Virizion actually, we're gonna name it what I have here in Puerto Rico, because it seemed like this guy didn't have any signal with me. He wasn't getting my signals that I wanted him in my Pokeball, and so we're gonna name him No Service, because I have no service here with Virizion, at least. Well, at first it said no service, but then I figured out when I called them that I actually do have service. I just had to turn on roaming, and now it says extended, so I could have called them extended. But you know who is really extended is this next legendary we're gonna catch, Cobalion, the final legendary ever in this legendary hunt, aside from Deoxys, which is gonna be a rematch technically because I already caught Deoxys. So this is the final legendary that we haven't seen before in this whole series, the post game and everything. So get hype because it is Cobalion. I've got no jokes to make about this guy. I mean, I don't really know what Cobalion even means. Like, what is it? Cobalt and then lion? You're not a lion. Why are you lying to me? Haha, there we go. I got the pun off. So give me 10 points for Gryffindor for that one. Anyway, this last guy, I don't even know. I won't even bother with saying if he was hard or not because I don't remember if he was hard or not. I mean, he might be hard right now. You can't really see because his leg's in the way. That's not the kind of hard I was talking about. But either way, the Swords of Justice, since I was going to talk about them a little bit, they are based off the Three Musketeers. I know that Keldeo is the little one, D'Artagnan, or whatever the name that I already forgot again. I don't know what exactly their lore is in Unova, though, because it said that Terrakion was protecting some kind of castle. Maybe they're talking about En's castle, but I don't think so, because En's castle has nothing to do with these guys. Like, these guys have their own separate lore thing. And I mean, I guess the Three Musketeers lived around the time when they had castles and stuff like that. So I'm sure they have something to do with that. But I don't know if they ever made like a movie with these guys in it. I'm sure there's some anime special at least. So I should definitely check it out so I can learn a little bit more about them because I have no idea. But they seem like interesting Pokemon, that's for sure. I have no idea why I waited until now to Mega Evolve, considering he's already so weakened. I probably just forgot. Same thing with how I forgot to use the Quick Ball. Oh boy, the last Pokemon, and of course I forget to use the Quick Ball. Man, if only this had gone like how my legendary hunts went in Pokemon X and Y. Like, I feel like those were so easy, but then again, this one feels a lot harder, like just the legendary hunt overall. Maybe it's because of the sheer amount of legendaries that there are in this game. That's probably why, because X and Y had the legendary birds, then they had Zygarde in there, and Mewtwo, and that was really it. That's all that there was in X and Y, because Diancie you get from an event, and then Yveltal and Xerneas, like, they're pretty much a one-shot. Like, there's no way you're not going to catch those guys. So, really, as far as catching legendaries, there were only 3 in X and Y. And then this game, oh boy, let me tell you, there were way more than 3. There were a lot of trios, in fact, of 3s, and maybe there were like, what, 10 trios? So there's like 30 something legendaries in this game that you have to catch that are actually hard to catch. So can't believe we finally made it, everybody. It's been a long journey catching all of these, but I've had fun. Sure, catching them might have been frustrating at times, but overall the videos were actually really fun to make. So I hope you guys enjoyed them, because it's been a crazy, bumpy, weird ride. I'm trying to think of that quote from like The Office, the last episode. It's not really a spoiler, but it's like it's a crazy, bumpy ride. Oh, well, this is a quote that I tried to make up. It was like, life is just one big bumpy ride, and I'm the conductor. Except I'm not really the conductor. I mean, you're the conductor of your own life. We can say that about it. So this crazy legendary hunt has been one big bumpy ride, and Cobalion is the conductor of it. And that's why he's the last one that we need to catch. So Fabi, intimidate him with your beautiful four-leggedness, I guess. Because I don't know what horses are into. Is this guy even a horse, or is he a dog? I called them the Dogies, but I mean, I guess they're more like horses. Yeah, they are horses. I don't know why I call them the Dogies then. I don't know. They're the legendary dogs to me, okay? So they're not really like Entei, Raikou, Suicune, but I like to compare them because they're four-legged mammal-like animals. Whoa, epic zoom in on his face, look at that. And then of course we have Fabi. What am I doing here? Why am I not moving in the game? Please, past self of me. My past self is just not listening right now. Oh, there we go. Must have been doing something. I have no idea. It doesn't matter though, but yeah, I don't know. I guess these guys are more like horses than dogs, so they could be like overgrown dogs. I mean, if you think about an overgrown dog, it's kind of like a horse, right? Nah, I don't know. Are they even in the same family? Aren't dogs like in the same, like aren't lions actually dogs, not cats, felines or whatever? No, I'm pretty sure they're all felines. Not dogs though. Dogs are canines. What are some big canines out there? Wolves? Dire wolves? Dire wolves? I guess these guys could be like big old dire wolves. They could make like a dire wolf Pokemon. Terrakion kind of looks like one. Well, this guy's a goat. He's not even a horse. Cobalion looks like a goat. The only one that looks like a horse to me could maybe be Keldeo, because I think I've always called him at least My Little Pony, but then I found out that there's a whole thing with My Little Pony, and then I stopped doing that because I don't really know, man. I mean, good if you guys like that stuff. Like if any of you out there likes that's awesome, you know, but I really don't get it. So ever since I found out there's this whole community about My Little Pony, I kind of stopped doing that because, you know, I don't know. I'm not really into it. But now Keldeo is just my little water horse, because that's the movie that I was thinking of a long time ago in these legendary videos. I was talking about a movie about this kid that raises up this like sea creature, and apparently it was called Water Horse. Well, that's the movie. The show that I was thinking of was called Surface, so you know, they could be like that. It's like a Surface. Isn't that a tablet called Surface? I think there is. Not like a tablet that you take, like a tablet that you play on. I don't think that's anything I should specify. Most people probably think tablets are the ones you play on. You know, I'm kind of going crazy right now because my past self is just not cooperating, and we keep getting epic zooms-ins of Cobalion's face, but this should be the ball that catches him. That zoom-in shot was just way too epic to not have this one be the one that catches it. And so it is, and so ends the legendary hunt. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you did, be sure to leave a like. I am going to go take probably a really cold shower because it's hot as HE double hockey sticks in here. And Cobalion, I like it. That's it. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.